The NFL offseason is a time that's a lot of fun. Absolutely a lot of fun. You get teams in here, you get speculation. Who should sign who? Who should draft what? Well, who? The point is, this is a time of the year where you get to kind of sit down and look at your team's biggest need and decide, okay, or at least, I guess, dream as to who you think your respective team should draft or sign. And in this case, you know, I think the Las Vegas Raiders have been a team that we have vowed to bring Raiders content every day because the people have spoken. So that's what we're going to do. And one particular player I think the Raiders need to take a serious look at signing and that I think could immediately fill a need, which is outside linebacker in my take, is HAASON REDDICK. Now, a little bit of a background on HAASON. Now, a former first-round draft pick at a Temple. He's got a lot of the things that you want. He's got an absolutely lot of the things you want. Took him a little bit to get live up to that first-round draft pick status for the Cardinals. And then, obviously, you can see here they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. Played 4 years for him. Had 12 and a half sacks. 12 and a half sacks his last year. And now, I'm not trying to say, you know, that a player shouldn't maybe get a second chance. But, I mean, after 12 and a half sacks, just maybe. Then came back this last year with the Carolina Panthers. I believe he signed like a 1-year deal with like $6 or $8 million. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 6. And, okay. Also had another really good year for the Panthers. He was a big part of that Panthers defense that was fast, furious, and tough to scheme against. Like, they were just all across the board. I mean, whether it was Jeremy Chin, HAASON REDDICK, Brian Burns, just across the board, there was a lot of talent on that defense. And HAASON REDDICK was definitely a nice, bright piece of that defense. Now, it might be a little tough to get him out of Carolina, but I think the Raiders, they need to make it happen. Like, if we're being honest right now, he's a player that they cannot skimp on. They need to really make sure that they're aggressive, especially if you look at here with over a projected $29 to $39 million in cap space. That's according to Spot Rack and over the cap, excuse me. I think this is you have to be in a place here. Yes, you don't want to spend all of your cap space. I understand that, but you're in a position where you could spend an excess of $15 to $20 million here and maybe draft a couple of players here and there. Blah 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 blah. If they don't sign Davante Adams, which I think they should, I think there's a lot that needs to be kind of worked out here, maybe with Derek Carr's contract or, which could even free up potentially more cap space. But if you think about it, if the Raiders can sign HAASON REDDICK for $8 million, $6 million, that leaves $23 million left. So you probably can look at still find a way to afford a guy like Davante Adams. I don't know. It's a big question, but there are ways. That's what these guys are paid to do, that you can find a way to get a guy like HAASON REDDICK and Davante Adams. And now at the same time though, if they sign HAASON REDDICK, that takes one need off the draft. Like, that takes one more need off that they need, and they could do a lot of things with it. So they could go in the route of drafting an outside linebacker or a wide receiver, or they could sign HAASON REDDICK to that $8 million or $6 million cap hit, and then they could go out and draft players with a new GM, a new head coach, and find, and I think the way you pitch it to HAASON is, hey, listen, Carolina, you had a respectable defense, great defense, but you had no quarterback. We have Derek Carr, we have Josh Jacobs, we had Hunter Renfrow, we have maybe Davante Adams. We have all these guys on offense that, if we can get another guy that can come off and provide that presence off the edge to combine with Unique Ngakoue, to combine with Max Crosby, to combine with Darius Philon and all those boys in the middle as well. If they can add another pass rusher for relatively cheap, I mean, it's not exactly cheap, but it's a pretty penny. But at the end of the day, if they can add another edge rusher that can just get after the quarterback, like, who are you going to block? Like, good luck. Like, seriously, you got 3 guys in Crosby, Unique Ngakoue, and HAASON REDDICK that could potentially come out and find a way to just get after opposing quarterbacks. And I think it could be a lot of fun. I really think it could be a lot of fun. Like we said, if you take a look at his stats here, especially over these last couple of years, he's a player that has found a niche. Like, he has found a role in this NFL, and that is go to get after the quarterback. And I think at the end of the day, it's one thing to have all this talent and offense and to have kind of a resurging defense. But I think one thing we saw with the Bengals and throughout the rest of the season is, Unique Ngakoue and Max Crosby are good players, but, I did think there were times when they disappeared, or either one of them disappeared. And, don't get me wrong, Max Crosby is one of the best run defenders in the entire NFL, and Unique Ngakoue is no slouch in that regard. But I think, you want a guy that you want players, yes, that are going to be good in the run game, but also you want to provide a spark. You want a fireball. You want a firefly to come off the bench and to just ignite everybody. Just You guys get my point. Maybe a little bit animated, but the point still remains. I think the Raiders need to go out and sign a guy like HAASON REDDIck, again, to that $6 to $8 million. You have the cap space. Go out and fill a major need and just put a huge staple into this defense that's going to get after people, especially if you bring in a guy like HAASON REDDIck who's going to come off that edge, get double-digit sacks. You love it. You love this time of year. You love what it could mean, and you love potentially what the Raiders could do in the offseason. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. I would greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. I will love every single one of you. Check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. Also in the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. And in the description, you'll find also our link to our iTunes. Give us a listen and sub there. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders needing to sign HAASON REDDIck.